Good afternoon. I am thrilled to get to do this video. I had a request from a former student who is currently a teacher herself. So she asked for a video on multiplying multiple digit numbers. And I'm going to give her and her students a slightly different approach to it. So let's say we want to multiply 23 times 35. We could just set it up the way we have all learned and do this multiplication, but one of the things that I think is a challenge for some young students is the whole idea of putting in the zero placeholders and then multiplying and carrying a number and then having to add it and so on. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to think about it a little differently. This is the way I do it with my own kids when they ask, "Hey mom, what's this times this?" and we break it down and do it verbally. So it's a good exercise in mental math as well. So 23 times 35 is the same thing as 23 times 30 and 23 times 5. Now, some people might be able to do the 23 times 30 in their head, and if you can, great, but if you can't, we could break it down into 20 times 30 and 3 times 30. And then we can break down the 23 times 5 if you need to into 20 times 5 and 3 times 5. So this just gets it to a point where we can do it all very easily mentally. So 20 times 30 is 600. Remember, the number of zeros we have here is how many zeros it's going to have. 3 times 30 is 90. 20 times 5 is 100. And 3 times 5 is 15. Once we've done that, we simply need to add those numbers together. And we get 5. And then that's a 10, so we're going to carry that 1. So it's 805. So I know some of you might be looking at it going, well, that's a lot of work when I could just do it. But if you have a student who's having a hard time grasping multiplying in this format, this might be a good approach for them. Plus, it kind of helps you understand exactly what you are multiplying and why the multiplication works in the other format. Okay, let's take a look at another one. Let's say we want to multiply 75 times 56. So remember that that's just the same thing as 75 times 50 and 75 times 6. We can break down the 75 times 50 into 70 times 50 and 5 times 50. And the 75 times 6 into 70 times 6 and 5 times 6. So the 70 times the 50 is 3,500. 5 times 50 is 250. 70 times 6 is 420. And 5 times 6 is 30. And then we add those together. That's going to be a 0, carry the 1, and we end up with 4,200. Let's look at a 3-digit times a 2-digit. So let's take 203 times 28. So this is the same thing as 203 times 20 and 203 times 8. So the 203 times 20 is 200 times 20. That 0 just means there's not, we could do the 0 times the 20, but we don't necessarily need to write that down because we know that's going to be 0. And then the 3 times 20. And then we have 200 times 8. And 3 times 8. So we're going to get 4,000 and then 60. And then 200 times 8 is 1,600. And 3 times 8 is 24. And then when we go to add those together, we're going to end up with 5,684. So just a slightly different approach to multiplying multi-digit numbers. If you have a student who's learning this might be a different approach for them if the other strategies are not working. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like for me to do a video for you or your student, leave it in the comments and I'll make a video just for you. Thanks for watching.